Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at race number 4 at Belmont Park on a stakes-laden Saturday afternoon card. It's the Grade 2 Suburban, a very prestigious race with a lot of history behind it. $400,000 is the purse. We're going the classic distance of 1.25 miles. Let's take a look at this field. The two main protagonists in this race drew the outside. Pimlico Special winner First Captain, the number 4 for Luis Saez and Shug McGahee, and Dynamic One, the number 5, winner of the Suburban Stakes last year at Saratoga, and coming into the Suburban off a fine effort in the Blame. Both of these horses are coming into this race in excellent form and just seem to have the stamina to appreciate longer distance racing. Now, how will they cope with a lack of pace? We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. It's a short field going 1.25 miles, and Todd Pletcher's other entrant, the number 1 Untreated, looks like the controlling speed. Now, Untreated was the leader in the Pimlico Special last time out, although I don't think that was by design. He sort of inherited the lead under Joel Rosario when his stablemate Vindictive, breaking one stall to the inside, stumbled. That left Untreated on the lead, and Rosario nursed this horse along beautifully on the front end. They didn't go fast at all. Untreated was beaten by First Captain at the end of that race. First Captain probably ran a better race than Untreated, but for Untreated's first start going to 1 mile and 3/16 and his first race on the lead, it was a promising enough performance. He's lightly raced. I still think there's plenty of upside for Untreated. This will only be his 9th lifetime start, and this pace projector is very, very kind to his chances. He's likely to be the third choice in this race. The number 2 is Max Player, and in some ways he's the key to this race, because last year at this time, Max Player was getting good. He bounced back from a poor performance in the Pimlico Special. It really wasn't a poor performance. He kind of had a tough trip in that race and was hinting he was rounding into form in the 2021 Pimlico Special, but he bounced out of that race with a win in the Suburban, a win in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and this horse took some money, 13-1 in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And he didn't run well in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and he hasn't run well in 2 starts this year, and you have to wonder if the wheels have simply fallen off Max Player. Max Player got good when they got him close to the pace, and this is a great opportunity for Dylan Davis in a relatively paceless race to use Max Player's speed, if Max Player still has it, to get close to the pace. He's going to be a good price. We know he has a race in his hip pocket. We know the distance he can handle, but his last 2 races have been very disappointing indeed. The 3 is Forewarned. Forewarned did not fire in the Pimlico Special at 16-1. Perhaps he was compromised by a lack of pace that day. He did beat Untreated 3 starts back in the Excelsior, going 1 mile and 1/8, and that was a very game performance. He raced outside in the back. He was under a very confident ride on the far turn. He was past turning for home, and he went shoulder to shoulder with Untreated all the way down to the wire, and he got that race done, winning by a head. Now, his 2 subsequent races have been disappointments. The Native Dancer was a race in which he got the pace he needs. He likes to come from the back of the pack, and he just didn't fire. The Pimlico Special, pace hurt him, but he just didn't fire, and the pace is working against him likely in this spot. The number 4 is First Captain. We're going to take a look at his victory in the Pimlico Special. This is his first race with blinkers and the first opportunity for Shug McGahee to really stretch him out in distance. Let's watch him on the outside now, rolling down Untreated. Vindictive is in between horses. Now, you could make the argument that First Captain was not the best horse in this race. That Vindictive, the runner-up, stumbled at the start, was forced to chase the pace down inside, made the first run, had to put away Untreated, and then got run down by First Captain. You could make that case, and I think if you did, it would be a little bit uncharitable for First Captain, because the pace certainly wasn't in First Captain's favor. He was mid-pack on the outside. He was briefly 4 wide on the second turn. I loved how Luis Saez kept him in as long as possible on that second turn, then got him to the outside to run down the leaders. I still think this horse is still learning. I think distance is what he wants. If you go back to some of his prior races, you'll see he's kind of getting scrubbed on early in his races. It takes a while for his engine to get going, but he really wants longer distances like this, and it appears he's getting good right now for West Point Thoroughbreds and Shug McGahee. Dynamic One beat First Captain in the Curlin, going 1 mile and 1/8. This year it's sort of been a race-by-race building block for Todd Pletcher. A 3rd in the Challenger, a 2nd in the Ben Ali. He just seemed to be improving with each start, and last time out he got it done in the Blame. And What I liked about the Blame was that he beat some very promising horses. The fourth-place finisher, his stablemate American Revolution, won the prestigious Grade 1 Cigar Mile last year as a 3-year-old. He bounced out of his defeat to Dynamic One and finished an excellent second in last week's Stephen Foster, and he popped a 108 Beyer speed figure. Looking back at Dynamic One's career, and he was second in the Wood Memorial as a 3-year-old, he was always a little bit green, maybe backward as a 3-year-old. You got the feeling as he got older and as the distances increased, he would get better. He has. He doesn't have as much tactical speed as some of the others. Maybe he'll have to overcome a slow pace, but this is a horse that's getting good at the right time. Before we get to my top selection, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. Saratoga Del Mar right around the corner. It's going to be a hot summer with DRFTV. Top pick time. I respect the two favorites in this race, but I also wonder if the number 1 Untreated has a major pace advantage. And he ran well in the Pimlico Special last time out. I believe a forward move is in the cards, and I trust Joel Rosario to rate him on the lead. I'll go with Untreated, 145 in the Grade 2 Suburban. Good luck.